patient. Be patient. Be patient. Hey y'all. Welcome to this Kingdom Things Podcast meetup. My name is Nicole Phillips, and I am not only the biblically prophesied Messiah, but I am a goddess having this beautiful human experience. My journey to activating my goddesshood is one in which I intuitively guided, recorded the energies and messages that I channeled, and which assisted me with getting into further alignment with my divinity, my goddesshood, my sainthood, my higher self, my God essence. I recorded these energies and messages that assisted me and published them within the Kingdom Things podcast, intuitively guided. As we journey within in order to get into alignment with our God essence, our goddess essence, our sainthood, our infinite essence, our divinity, other dimensions and aspects of our divinity, because not one aspect of ourselves isn't divine. There isn't an aspect of self, there isn't an aspect of reality that is not divine. Our journey of getting into alignment with higher awareness of this fact is the journey of existence, the journey of life. A journey that is one of proclivity, a proclivity that is of high honor, high importance, high esteem. Every dimension and aspect of God's creation is of a high honor, high importance, high esteem. We're going to be channeling Carl Jung, the psychiatrist. He's psychiatrist, philosopher, doctor that explored and contributed much to the human collective consciously and energetically. Consciousness is energetic, and many other facets. Carl Jung contributed much to the human collective with his works, with his practice. There's a lot to be said as I have traveled and experienced the apex I've activated the apex experience. I've experienced the apex of my godhood or my light essence. The light essence of my godhood, as I have also traveled and am experiencing the apex pinnacle of the darkness of my godhood, of my God essence. Coming into this light is as elusive, as noble as coming into the apex pinnacle of the darkness of my God essence of self. The darkness being that of the unconscious human consciousness. The unconscious human consciousness. And the way that I'm seeing it in my mind's eye is imagine a weaving of, let's say, banana leaves. And these banana leaves are weaved so tightly, compacted so tightly that it would make for the greatest of roofs in an oasis, tributary environment. Let's say it's a roof of a tributary, and you know when the rain comes, not an ounce of water is going to make it through this tightly woven banana leaf contraption. This is the human unconscious mind. As we share a human conscious mind, the human unconscious mind, is elusive because of the fact that we have lost sight of the understanding that this unconscious mind is a mind of oneness, a mind that we share, and not a mind of personal identity. So when we have discussions on anything, we are only mirroring to each other dimensions and aspects of this one mind that is a human unconscious mind. Unconscious, why, Ashley? Because we have lost sight of the understanding that we share this one mind. I'm not gonna lie. Being able to perceive this at greater levels strikes up fear within myself. Why, Ashley? We've lived our lives. We've constructed much of this human unconscious energy, this human unconscious mind, through the understandings of the great debate, through the understandings of who and what is God. We've conducted much of our understandings of our reality, of self, who we identify as a personal self. These energies of who we identified as a personal self, in all actuality, come from the collective unconscious mind. But we take pieces and parts and we hold on to them and we say, this is self. And much of the unconscious mind and those pieces and puzzle pieces that we hold on and say, this is self, those energies from the unconscious mind that we grab and we say, this is self, we identify as self, as our personal self, come from the age-old question of our collective of who and what is God. And this question of who and what is God has stoked not only debate, but dysfunction and war, stigmatisms around our existence. What is righteous? What is right? What is okay to be? What is okay to do? Human unconscious mind. When we ask these questions, we're only getting answers from the human unconscious mind if we haven't allowed ourselves to travel further enough within to activate the light, the highest frequency of our own light, God, goddesshood, in the darkest of the darkest, or the unconscious human mind of our God, goddesshood, as no dimension and aspect of God's creation is not of God, not of divinity, not divine. We have to transcend the old human unconscious mind. How, Ashley? By coming into alignment with the understanding that every dimension and aspect of ourselves, as below, so above, the principle of correspondence, universal code, every dimension and aspect of ourselves only projects every dimension and aspect of our reality. Every dimension and aspect of ourselves only projects every dimension and aspect of our reality. Every dimension and aspect of ourselves only projects every dimension and aspect of our reality. What does this mean? We have been creating a reality from this unconscious human mind that was created from the question of who is God, what is righteous, what is right, what is okay to be, who am I okay to be? So we create a reality out of fear because the great book, the Bibles that the Bible, the Holy Bible that much of our unconscious mind is stoked by, is a book in which we have outgrown, is a pretense, and in which we have outgrown. Why, Ashley? We have evolved into beings who no longer need to be told who and what to be by society. We have evolved into beings who no longer have to fear self, the truth of self. What is the truth of self? We are all dimensions and aspects of an omnipresent, omnipotent, omnipowerful energy in which we know as God. Every individual, every dimension and aspect of God has the power to create, project our own designer realities. I am grateful that the levels of gleaning and understanding this infinite power that resides inside is only activated when you understand who God created you to be. As God is elusive, existence is elusive, it's ever-changing, ever-moving. If we stepped into this understanding, into this omnipresent, omni-powerful energy without the understanding of who God created you to be, without the understanding of who God created you to be, without the understanding of who God created you to be, you would fall into nothingness without the understanding of who you were intended to be shaped into, be formed into by your highest understandings of reality or by God, by your intuitive guidance, by your God, Goddesshood. Who did God create you to be, Ashley? I channeled much of the codes in which God embedded within myself. I channeled much of the characteristics in which God embedded within myself. I channeled much of the integrity of who I am to be, of who I am, in which God seated within myself, within the Kingdom Things podcast. I am an accumulation point within creation in which I am to emanate the energy of unconditional love. The energy of unconditional love is who I am, as I am the alchemy of the highest frequency that God intended to be within unconditional love, and the densest, darkest frequency in which God intended to be within the alchemy of unconditional love. The high and the low having no intrinsic value. The high and the low values comes with relating and what comes from that relation. The high and the low having no real intrinsic value. The real value coming from the relation between the high and the low and what the high and low creates. The high and the low energies having no intrinsic value on their own, as the high and the low value is that of relation, is that of creation. Just as every dimension and aspect of our reality, every dimension and aspect of ourself has no real intrinsic value as one or on its own. The value comes with the alchemy, the understanding, the acknowledgement of every aspect of self or every aspect of our reality. I'm going to go ahead and sit back and allow and welcome the energies of Sir Carl Jung to channel through myself for this Kingdom Things podcast meetup. Feel free to close your eyes to feel the energies, welcome the energies in, to assist you, uplifting you, and understanding more dimensions and aspects of yourself as your soul intended you to glean from this space and reality at this time. If you're here, there's something for you. There's a word, there's an energy in which your soul wants you to partake in order to glean more dimensionalities of yourself, in order to come further into a conscious awareness of self or of God, or a more expansive understanding of who you are, what your reality is, what God intended with your creation, with your reality. Thank you beforehand, Sir Carl Jung, so much. Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. I must say, I am impressed by your work. I am impressed by your tenacity. I am impressed by your resilience. I am impressed by your bravery, your courage. Your courage. Courage is the word. Courage to fall into the darkness. Fall into the darkness with the trust that you will be caught by the almighty hand of the almighty presence, which we knew as God. I am grateful to have contributed in such a way as I did, as Carl Jung, a human within the humanality of planet Earth. I was intrigued. I was intrigued in the most heartfelt way, in the most exuberant way, in the most wondrous way about the workings of the human being, the human mind. I soon found that the human mind has no separation between the human heart and the human mind have no separation between the human leg, the human heart, the human mind, the human leg have no true separation from the human appendix. As you stated, every dimension and aspect of self contributes in some way. The only difference of the gleaning of the understanding of the contribution of every aspect of self is our conscious awareness of self. Why does the human being do what it does? Why does the human being act the way it acts? Why does the human being contribute to creation in the way the human being contributes to creation? Because the human being is unaware of its essence of multifaceted, expansive dimensionality. There is no way attempting to understand anything is likened to attempting to grip a handful of grains of sand in your hand without the sand seeping through your fingers. Trying to understand anything is trying to understand that in which is elusive, that in which is infinite, that in which is ever changing. Our only mission, our only goal as beings within creation is to understand self in a way that we can apply our understandings of self within our reality to contribute to the upliftment and expansion of the almighty presence or God. I want to thank you, Ashley, for your work. I know you have a hard time I know you're bashful, you're shy about what you do because of the fact that what you do is so elusive, as what you do is something that you cannot explain, but it is your experience. Be proud of yourself in your courage and tenacity and resilience. Thank you, humanity, for allowing the space for me to act as Carl Jung, as every dimension and aspect of humanity, past, present, and now, contributes to every dimension and aspect of humanity, past, present, and now. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, everyone whom has joined, viewing this Kingdom Things podcast meetup, experiencing this Kingdom Things podcast meetup in whichever space, dimension, reality, realm you reside. Thank you, Carl Jung, for your energy, for your presence, for your words. Again, my name is Nicole Phillips. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah, even greater than that. I know even greater than that, I am a creation within creation, just like you, with the opportunity to come into greater understandings or conscious awareness, greater conscious awareness of self within self or God creation, just like you, with the power to bend reality at my will or my highest understandings, purpose for my creation, just like you. And purpose not just being to do or give, but to be and experience within the fullness that you find within self. At this time, I am holding spiritual powwow sessions, which you can book within the link of my link tree in the posting of this Kingdom Things podcast meetup. I'm also an author. My literature, the Story of Asya series, Coming Home, the Story of Asya, as well as the Story of Asya, I'm Home, is available to read on or to listen to audiobook style as I recorded on the Kingdom Things podcast YouTube channel. My Other Half, now known, now titled 44. My Other Half, now titled 44, or 44 by myself, previously titled My Other Half, is available to listen audiobook style on Kingdom Things podcast YouTube channel. And whichever other space you may find it available. All of my literature, whichever other spaces you may find it available, go for it. I hope there's an activation that you enjoy. Not only do you enjoy the readings, but they activate you into new understandings within yourself. They activate an epiphany or intuitive nudge within yourself to come further into alignment with the conscious awareness of self, of your personal self, or who your goddess essence intended for you to be, in order to glean, the expansiveness of the oneness of all, the great self, the great I am, or all of creation, as all of creation genuinely is one. Again, my name is Ashley Phillips. Namaste. I bow to the God, Goddess within you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love, because when you love on yourself, you're doing the greatest justice for all of creation. When you love on yourself, you love yourself into alignment with greater dimensions and understandings of yourself or creation. When you love on yourself, you make the impossible possible. Bye.
Be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient.